Hi, my name is Marci Brockmann. I am a teacher, I am a podcaster, I am an artist, and I'm an author. And I have been teaching in public middle schools and public high schools for 26 years. Teaching has brought me more joy and more meaning and more creative challenges and abundant compassion than I could have ever imagined. And I have been honored to have been involved with over 4,000 students as a teacher in the public school and as an adjunct professor for a variety of colleges. For anyone who is looking to get into this profession, it is the single most rewarding thing besides parenting that I have ever done. My personal mission is to inspire people along their healing journeys, people who have suffered trauma, who have undergone life experiences that they didn't think that they could recover from. I want to encourage people to live fully into their authenticity and to find the love and the meaning that they desire. This is the basis for the 2 books that I wrote last winter and published during the quarantine. Permission to Land, Searching for Love, Home, and Belonging is a memoir of going from dysfunction to joy and meaning. And Permission to Land, Personal Transformation Through Writing is its companion guided journal. It's also the meaning behind my Facebook group, Permission to Heal, Safe to Fly, with over 500 hearts from around the world who are looking to support each other through their healing journeys and to help each other find the love that they so richly deserve. And my podcast, Permission to Heal, which is about sharing inspiring stories with each other to create empathy, to create warmth, to create human connection. It is available on every major podcast listening platform, and new episodes drop every Wednesday. We all grow in wellness as we share our stories with each other. Sharing meaningful stories and inspiring others is where empathy begins. Find out more about me, my books, my art, the podcast, my Facebook group, everything there is to know at marcibrockmann.com, www.marcibrockmann.com. Now, my 5 things that you need to know to be a highly effective educator. Number 1, the goal is mindful teaching, like parenting, is raising respectful kids with empathy and a strong work ethic and frustration tolerance so that they can live a happy life. The idea is to teach them high expectations, to have clear boundaries and limits with consistent consequences for poor decision making, to give them tough love when necessary so that they can see the effects of their choices, and to instill in them a sense of resilience and fortitude so that they don't fold under the weight of challenges, but they rise above them and they learn their own strength and their own fortitude and their own courageousness and their own bravery and creativity in learning how to get over the hurdles that life, academic life and regular life bring them. We want them to have the confidence to try new things, and when they feel that they are not on the right path, to be brave enough to try again, to take a new tact and to forge ahead. We want them to find the inspiration and the meaning that they richly deserve and to follow their passion. Number 2 is something that we need to know is that many times teachers become more than just teachers to students. We become coaches, we become mentors, we become pseudo parents, we become guides, we become therapists, because students see us, if we do this right, students see us as safe adults to turn to when they are suffering, when they are confused, when they feel lost, when they need somebody to listen to them. And it is our job to encourage them, to allow them to open up to us and allow them to express their hearts and their grief and their sadness and their fear and to bare their hearts to us. We are required. It's part of the job to hold space for them and respect their humanity as they share themselves with us. It's one of the most beautiful and rewarding things, rewarding aspects of this job. Some kids become lifelong friends and learn how to survive their whole lives and build relationships because of the connections that they make with their teachers. It's true. I've had quite a few teachers over the course of my life that have been an inspiration to me, that have given me the tools to navigate very difficult and dark times in my life. And I have returned the favor with some of the 4,000 students who have graced my classrooms with their beautiful hearts. I had one such student when I was a 7th grade English teacher way long ago. She walked into my classroom with a big set of armor on because the household that she grew up in was extremely dysfunctional and emotionally abusive. And she had a lot of intelligence and a lot of will to rise above all of that turmoil. I helped her see that the best thing that she could do for herself, the best revenge against an unhappy childhood, was to get everything she could out of education so that she could build herself a beautiful, rewarding life. And that's what she did. Each year of her entire high school career, she found another trusted, trustworthy grown up to be school mom for her, just like I was in 7th grade. And then when she was a senior, she was in my senior English class and I got to be her teacher again. And we grew closer one more time. It was lovely to see her so many years later, having blossomed into a lovely, sophisticated, self-aware, confident young woman. And then when she graduated high school and she was in college, she needed to get out of her parents' house. It was no longer safe for her. And I was a single mom with 2 young elementary school age kids, and I needed a live-in to come help me with my kids. So she moved in with me. And she had a safe place to live, and I had really trustworthy help to help me with my kids, and it was a marriage made in heaven. So sometimes it's extremely important for us to be there for our kids. And the warm heart and the compassion that we get for that is tenfold. Number 3 is that it's our job to teach our students how to express themselves, how to communicate, how they think and how they feel. But it's also our job to teach them how to listen and how to respect differing opinions and differing ideas from other people. Think that there's a little too little of this. We have a little too little of this in our society right now, and we need to really engender this kind of human respect in the next generation. We need to create for them the importance for having respect for other people and their beliefs so that we can have a more just, a more involved, a more mutually supportive and beneficial society. Number 4 is that teachers need to create a safe and supportive classroom space for all of this magic to happen. We need to create a safe culture where learning can happen organically, where students can feel safe to take risks. We only learn when we step out of our comfort zone, and if we don't feel safe to do so, we're not going to. Abraham Maslow, the educational psychologist, his famous hierarchy of needs is extremely important here because especially as we're educating our students through a pandemic, if they don't feel safe and they don't physically safe, emotionally safe, if they don't get enough sleep, if they don't get enough food, if they don't get enough water, if they don't get enough nurturing and support and love, and if they don't feel safe where they are, they're not going to feel safe to risk what it takes to learn. So it's our responsibility, it's incumbent upon us as educators to create an atmosphere where students feel comfortable taking risks, where they can, trepidatiously raise their hand and feel like they are being supported and encouraged, because having a growth mentality is extremely important. We want to value the process, not just the product. We want to value their attempts and their effort, not just their grades. It's extremely important to foster a continuance of student growth and excellence. Number 5 on my list is that teachers need to find life-work balance for themselves. Teachers are the backbone of society. We all know this, right? Without educators, without motivating, inspirational teachers, no other professions would exist. It's just a fact. We all get our starts. We all get inspired by teachers in our lives. Teachers work really hard. We take our work home with us almost every single night. We work through vacations, we work over the summer. It is really, really easy for teachers to burn out, especially because the job isn't just academic, but it's interpersonal and human and emotional, and it's all built on relationships. And while the job is amazing, as we find it mostly a calling and a mission to service, it is also exhausting and very draining, and utterly important for us as teachers to carve out self-care time, to eat well, to get enough sleep, to devote extra time to our families, to make sure that we are engaged in something that replenishes our spirit and replenishes our creativity and inspires us to keep going, whether we pick up hobbies or we work on exercise, or we find something that brings us a little extra joy that's just for us. It's really incumbent upon us to find a balance between our have-tos and our want-tos, and make sure that our lives are not just about work, because that is a quick path to burnout. When I was going through my darkest times after my divorce some years ago, I was having a lot of trouble focusing on the good in my life, because I was so bothered and so stressed and anxious about everything that was going on in my world. Anyone who's gone through a divorce, you know what I mean. But what I found the most amazing thing about teaching was that it allowed me to put all of that aside and just focus on the 25 to 30 kids in my classroom. And for that class period, for those 41 minutes, the only thing I was concerned about were those kids. And that mindfulness with which I approached each class and approached each lesson really saved my soul and allowed me time to not think about that other stuff that caused me so much anxiousness and anxiety. And we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves so that we can be there for our kids, biological kids, and our academic school kids. So those are my 5 things. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much to Authority Magazine for inspiring this video.